Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It is Andrew here, and of course, Heron with me doing our live weekly Q&A right here in the Asia Pacific Facebook group. If you can hear me okay, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. That would be amazing. And of course, oh, there it is right there. I was searching for this on my iPad, and of course, it's right there, so that's okay. Oh, the boys have had the volume up on here, so I'll just turn that down. So now we're good. Welcome, guys. Heron, how are you doing, man?
Absolutely amazing. And once again, back here to answer your wildest questions.
Wildest questions. Now, speaking of wildest questions and wildest dreams, I guess if we're on that tangent, um, you were called into jury duty this week.
Oh, yeah. So, trust me, guys, the way the Australian government works right now and the court system and the law system, they just kind of let's roll with it mode at the moment. So, the moment they opened up everything on 18th of May, and 19th of May court was in session. Juries were randomly called up, and trust me, guys, it's not a good scene. They have so many cases pending, and you might be called very soon too.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. But there's still, hey, look, that might be a little bit of a downer for you this week, but there's been plenty of good stuff happening within our organisation. Announcements, obviously, the meetings that have been happening, the things that are going on behind the scenes that no one necessarily sees, but are still definitely happening. There's plenty happening there. What's happening in your space in the investment space, mate? I know you've been recruiting. Tell us a little bit about that because we've got literally
So
got
with
one
the
question this week.
so with the investment department, I think we'll take some liberty here because there's some announcement going up in the back office. So we are looking for some professionals within our organization to come and join us on board. Someone who has the economics, forex, cryptocurrency, investments knowledge. If you might be doing this prior, you might be a real estate person. You might be someone who's doing professionally investment professionally. So if you are one of this person who in this category, then definitely watch out for this ad which is coming up in our back office, and send us your details,
Your deets.
and let's see if this thing works out because it's an ever expanding department, and if we are going to go into the direction that we need to go, and you guys know what it is, growing the 15% population and expanding ourselves into 20 different sectors, then we definitely need help. It's not a one or two man job. It's not the council which is comprised of six people at the moment. We definitely looking at a much bigger team. So yeah, watch out for that. But otherwise, I think we are in the right direction, and that 404 million is going to grow very soon.
And and
So
and
just
um, I know particularly, I guess I'm a little privy to some of that information as well. And guys, what we're looking for, I mean, there's a lot of people that are bringing opportunities to it, which is awesome. It's really good to see that people are out there, they're active, they're like, oh, this could be a really good fit for our portfolio. Um, Now, I'm just going to say something, and then Harry can follow it up and sort of clean up what I'm going to say. But essentially, what we're looking for right now for things to put in our portfolio, a lot of people are bringing us long-term projects, which is great, but we've got a lot of long-term projects already. So what we're looking for right now is obviously for the benefit of everyone to increase our loyalty, not our loyalty payment, sorry, our profit bonus that we get paid each month that we haven't had for a couple of months. We're looking at putting more liquid assets inside of our portfolio. And when we're talking about liquidity, we're talking about that we can make liquid within a 3 month sort of period. So, do you want to expand on that a little bit, Heron?
No, absolutely. For the people who know what liquid acid is, then put it in the chat or put it in the comment section. Um, Liquid acid is obviously something that you can take and convert to fiat the quickest way. And if you would have been part of marathon, or if you would have listened to even one of our webinar, we have always said that gold is one of the most liquid assets out there. um, some stocks out there which can quickly be sold, silver and all this kind of things. But then we can only sustain for so long if we have liquid assets, okay? Because our tangible assets will always be there, our long-term assets will be there. Like for example, Sushi Masters is generating a profit, but for us to see true profit, okay, the big profits is going to take some time, right? Same goes for the gold mine that we have. Even though we have a gold mine, doesn't mean we already have a liquid asset. All the gold is under the ground.
Yeah.
We got to mine it out. We got to clean it up. We got to polish. We got to sell. We got to get it, authenticated, and all this kind of things is going on. Same goes with the synthetic diamonds that we have as well, and also Kitma. Kitma, our movie production company, we got to make movies. Movie have to go into marketing. Movies have to be viewed,
Yeah.
and then you get the profit. But then there is a section in investment called liquid, okay, liquid assets. So at the moment, cryptos would fall into the category slightly, and then you get the forex where you're trading, but it's not that liquid, but kind of liquid. But then there are things that kind of gives the liquid, which is the standard, which is gold and all these kind of things, right? So we are expanding on that space, okay, and we are focusing on that space. So what this happens is when the liquid assets keep growing, and generates more profit, and then that allows us to use that money to get into new investments, new programs, new whatever that comes along our way, and also keeps the cash flow going. And this is one of the reasons that the VIP club was formed as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, you want to add something?
No, all I want to say is part of liquidity. Obviously, they're liquid assets, but we're also looking for things that are going to provide cash flow. And when Harren spoke about sustainability, he's not talking about our portfolio, because that is sustainable. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep growing, and it is. What we're talking about is maintaining and sustaining those profit bonus payments, or bonus profit payments, and that comes from having those liquid assets that are going to keep bringing us income each and every month. And as Harren rightly pointed out just then, the VIP club is absolutely part of that. So these are some of the things we need to be considering. There was something that came up before, and I was like, that reminds me, we could talk about that. But here's something that I do want to talk about. This was discussed at the President's Council and at the Leadership Council meeting on Tuesday night. And I'm not sure if it's made its way out to the field yet. So if you're hearing this for the first time, great. If you're not hearing it for the first time, then that's great too. It means that we've got some things happening. This should have been announced in the back office. It was supposed to be announced yesterday, and it's with regards to the loyalty payments last month. Now, if you had loyalty payments that you missed out on last month because you'd participated in the exchange, the company wholeheartedly apologizes. That was an IT error that has been fixed. Now, in order for you, the company doesn't want you to miss out on that loyalty payment, obviously. And in order for you to make sure that you get that loyalty payment and any commissions you may have missed from people that joined the VIP club prior to you joining it, then there's 2 forms that you need to fill out, and they are available in the new section in your back office. Go find those, fill them out to say what your loyalty payment, that you should be in. I haven't actually looked at the forms myself personally, but the forms are there. Fill one of them out is with regards to the loyalty payment, and the other one is regards to commissions, and that is you need to estimate what that would have been. Now, guys, this isn't an opportunity for you to go and take the mickey. Be honest, because you'll be found out. Honestly, if you're not upright, then do it with integrity, because the company knows, and that's a big thing. Changes coming up with the exchange too, very, very soon. Andre announced it a couple of weeks ago on his webinar. You'll have noticed the slide. It said there'll be 5 different options for CRU to unit and unit to CRU. I think it's $50, $100, $1,000, and CRU, 50 CRU, 100 CRU, 1,000 CRU, and 5,000 CRU. I think somewhere around that. They will come up. They will be the options that you have to trade inside of the exchange. We've got rid of the bots, so the exchange will be well and truly open for everyone. That is in the VIP club. Now, again, you must be in the VIP club to have access to the exchange and to have access to your staking. Harren.
Yeah, no, absolutely. While you were saying that, very famous quote just came up. In midst of chaos, there's also an opportunity. So, guys, that's the way I look at it. This is chaos. Okay, it was chaos for a couple of days, but it's an opportunity for us to really sit back and see what the company can do, and are they really doing what they're supposed to do. And to be honest, problems are getting solved, and I
Yeah,
think kudos to our team. And some people just told me, like, I'm going to stop recruiting, but I'm going to focus on my team to keep doing presentations. So not recruiting. He said, I'm going to focus on my presentation, so I'm just going to close my eye on the VIP, not VIP, in the back office for a while until I get they solve the problem.
yeah.
So there you go. It's how you see the situation, guys. There's always different ways of looking at situations. So if it's a problem, it's a problem. It's an opportunity, it's an opportunity. So there you go.
100%, 100%. There's plenty in that space. Now, what you said something really really pertinent just then. It's taken some time to get on top of a few things, but what I've noticed, particularly in the last month or so, is that things are happening faster. When people come up and they go, "Oh, this has happened," it actually gets fixed much more promptly than what it has done in the past. Now, is it still is it yet a perfectly working system? No, and as I've said in previous Q and A's, it's probably never ever going to be, because once you reach that level, then you start to strive for the next level. So there's always going to be improvements. There's always going to be things that we can look at. But guys, there's definitely massive improvements already been made. Had some great conversations in the last 24 hours with regards to those things as well. About expectation, about managing expectation, and about communication, which for me has been one of my biggest bugbears the entire time I've been with the company. I'm very big on communication, and I guess the other part of that is expectation. I have a certain expectation of people, and we all have this to some level. So it's nice to be able to get on top of that. Now, Mick Siebens asked a question here. The first one we can chuck up on the broadcast, which is nice. Here it is. Will the VIP loyalty bonus be shown differently compared to our already existing loyalty payments? That's a really good question, mate. I would think that it's probably just going to be lumped into one, but we can talk to IT, and we have got obviously a new development team happening on that. We can talk to them and see if we can actually get that tied up so that it does show differently, so you can see what it is. And then we can go from there. It's certainly a suggestion we can forward, but at this stage, I'm pretty sure it's all coming through as one.
There you go. So just watch out for this space, guys. Like we have been assured that it will happen. How it will happen yet, we don't know, but we'll wait and see.
Now, guys, the question that has come up that did get submitted in the form. Only one question in the form this week, guys. It's there for your use. If you've got questions that come up in the week, I really want to know the answer to that, then jump into the form. I'll flash it up against the bottom again, so you can see it. There it is. It's just disappeared. It'll come back. Make sure you take that form down. It is in the top of the description too, I believe. Maybe it's not. Anyway, it is definitely on the banner of the club. But one of the question that was here this week is, how much do I need to invest in crypto, please? Now, that is such an open-ended question. Are we talking about Bitcoin? Are we talking about Ethereum? Are we talking about Litecoin? Are we talking about Electronium? Are we talking about Ripple? Or are we talking about crypto unit? So, as I said, very,
How
very
you
open.
forgot one more coin?
What? Which one?
How about the AHA coin?
Oh, the AHA coin. I hear that's going to ICO very soon. And I'm sure it'll be valued at it'll have a good value on it. So
I
guys,
think those guys were trying to match it with the Berkshire Hathaway shares.
yeah, well, didn't they come up with something qualified trees?
Yeah,
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 we should definitely look into that. It's probably that's worth millions right there by itself.
exactly.
So
We'll tell you about qualified trees in a minute, but yeah,
coming back to the question though, how much to invest in crypto, please? I'm assuming we're talking about CAU. So the first thing I want to cover is, one, you're not making an investment. And we need to stress this. You might go, well, it's potatoes. There's a massive, massive reason why we do this. It's for compliance reasons. You're not investing in anything. You purchase an EIP, an education information product. It comes with a bonus of CAU at this stage, CAU. Okay, and that may change in the future. It may be something different, depending on where we are in our build phase, if you like. But back to the question, how much do you need to, what package do you need to purchase? Because that's what you're doing, you're purchasing an EIP. what package do you need to purchase? I would say the one that suits your budget, because you don't want to overextend yourself in this. There's no point in getting in a hole just to try and better yourself. And it depends on your risk profile. And my risk profile has changed over the last 3 years. I'll be honest. I used to be the person that would just go all in, and that's easy. When you got nothing, you can go all in, and you're not going to lose anything. But when you got some stuff to lose, you don't go all in. You sort of you manage it a little bit more, and you look at the pros and the cons of everything. Now, I will say this though. This is over and above, and this isn't, by the way, any advice. Okay. What I would say is that the creed of an entrepreneur is this: control everything, own nothing. If you don't own anything, they can't take anything away from you. So control it through various structures, and a good accountant will be able to help you with that. Not all accountants are created equally. I've got a really good one here on the Gold Coast that can help with international structure if you want that. But guys, control everything, own nothing. That's what I'd say with that.
Cool. No, that's absolutely amazing. Now we have 52 people watching us in Facebook. Am I right?
We do.
Cool. So we kind of gave a tiny exercise last week. You remember that?
No, remind me. Jog my memory.
The exercise was spending half an hour with a very important person. The person was YOU. How many people actually managed to do that? And if anybody wants to share the experience, by all means do that in the comment section. Now, Brian Smith. No, sorry, Heke Parangi. That he came up with the question. We're going to bring it up. That'd be awesome. If the time expires to join VIP Club for my new partners, will they get another chance to join after the expiry date?
Basically, that grace period is just that they if they don't pay after the grace period, guys, any new partner, I'd just be putting them straight into the VIP Club. It just makes sense.
Absolutely.
As for existing partners, then after the 3 months, they'll lose access to the back office. Your new partners, the same thing will happen after that grace period. They won't have access to any of that good stuff. So, I mean, you get access to it now, but you don't get access to staking. You don't get access to the exchange, only to CAU. And I don't know if it was asked prior to our live Q&A last week, but and without mentioning any names, one of my guys came to me and he said, "Is it worth me getting involved with VIP?" Now, this is someone that is not building a business. Okay, they're 100% passive in this organization. Is it worth me paying the $10 a month VIP? And we went through and worked it out, and we worked out how much CRU that they had and what he could potentially get for that staked over the 24-month period. Now, over the 24-month period, it turned, and based upon the current valuation, which is around 21 cents. Call it 20 cents. I think we worked it out on 19. So we took the amount that he would earn in CRU and then put a monetary value to it, 20 cents, okay? And it worked out at $750 odd. So then it was going to cost $10 a month for 24 months. That's $240. $240 to put in to be able to stake, and a potential of $750 return on that over and above what he already had. So in that case, it was like, well, it's a no-brainer. It's definitely worth doing, right? So these are the things that you need to think about. But it does depend on how much unlocked CRU you have. Of course, you can buy more. If you're VIP, you can buy unlocked CRU or exchange unit for CRU inside the exchange. So you can always get more to stake if you want to. So after the 3 months, they'll just lose access.
Just on the CRU exchange and the internal exchange, since we are doing a lot of peer-to-peer transactions at the moment, well, the new internal exchange is, on the works. Okay, that's a separate story. But then it's come to our attention that a lot of people actually selling it for a much lesser price. You came across this, and you guys know who you are, and you guys probably know what I'm exactly talking about. All I want to say is don't break the system. Okay, it's already something great. It's already it's somehow working, um, but it's our very own people is one going to spoil it, not someone external. So
Yeah.
just give it some time, but just work with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was I was gonna say.
I kind of alluded to that last week a little bit. People that are trying to game the system, and that's what Heron's talking about. And he's right. You know who you are doing it. And the thing with it is, guys, you're only hurting yourselves. And it's one because you're not. This isn't why you're hurting yourselves, but what it shows is that you have a total lack of patience, a total lack of respect for everybody else that's in the business, and a total lack of respect for what we're trying to achieve with the CRU. Um, so if you're okay with that, personally, then hey, have at it. But just know that the company knows. We can see exactly what goes on in the accounts. We can see exactly when money's been shifted from account to account. All of these things are logged. All of these things are tracked. Maybe you do it via a bank account. Well, you're still only cheating yourself and cheating other people in the organization. And as I said, the company knows, and actions are being taken. So that's I guess as much of a warning as there is, but there are actions being taken. There are already things in play. So don't get caught out. You might end up with egg on your face. So I'm just going to put this up here, Brian. This is cool. In the back office, in the news section, if you go to news section and just filter through and go through all of the articles, you'll find, I think it was about 10 days ago that it might have been there. So you might have to go through a few to find it. But that's what you want to do there. There's a form there for you to fill in. Go and find that. Fill that out. Put everything, all of your details, all of your experience, etc., into that, and somebody will be in touch with you 100%. Cool, Mick. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this up just for you. Where is it? I think it's this one. Be sure.
Something awesome is coming. That
No,
one.
no, it's not that one. It's this one. Exciting promotion. Yeah, this one here. So something I did. I put a post out the other day. Guys, make sure that you have your wallet loaded. Now, somebody asked me the question also, do I put it in API? Do I put it in CRU? Do I put it in TNG? My answer to that would be the one that you can put it in the most efficiently. Because once it's in there, you can move it between the wallets anyway. So no drama, you can move it between your own individual wallet, not a problem at all. So it doesn't matter which portal you put it in. But absolutely get ready. Have the money in your account ready to go. There'll be an announcement Saturday, and people have said, well, how much do I put in? And again, come back to the what are you comfortable putting in? If you're comfortable putting in 100, great, put in 100. If you're comfortable putting in 5,000, great, put in 5,000. But don't put in anything that's going to put you in trouble or in hardship. Nobody wants that. The company certainly doesn't want that. If you look at when you put money in, it actually asks you if it's from your own, right, that you haven't borrowed it, that it's unencumbered. So make sure that you follow that philosophy. That's how you make sure you can stay above board. But the announcement will be on Saturday in the webinar, so make sure that you tune into that. It will be worth it, I promise. And yeah, no, it'll be worth it. Yeah, it'll be worth it. That's all I need to say.
No, absolutely, absolutely. No, one more thing I wanted to say was actually I forgot about it. Come back to that. It was right there. You know how that feeling is. Something is there, and then suddenly just flies away.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
catch that butterfly. It's coming back.
Hey.
But yeah, yeah, nah, it's not there.
It's not there.
It's not there.
It's not there.
Did we have any other questions?
No, look, we've done the questions. We could have an early mark. We could finish early this week because there's only
Santa
been a
Claus
couple of
is
questions come
coming
through.
in town.
The excitement's
Stop
killing
it.
you.
The
Nice one.
excitement's
I like
killing
that.
me. Thank you, Gary. Ryan.
We're just trying to keep things sprightly, you know. There's definitely good stuff coming along. Is there anything that's happening behind the scenes that we can sort of discuss a little bit about, perhaps, Heron?
See, at the moment, it's okay. There is certainly a lot of things happening. I'll attest to that. And Andrew, you're absolutely right. And to everyone who's listening, whatever that you think which is happening without you knowing is probably is happening, but I'm not in the liberty to say it.
Oh, well, that was anticlimactic.
It's not because how do you put it? It's not that we don't want to say it. We just want to make it right and then release it progressively. But there are a few things you can probably say. I think we just let one cat out of the bag in the morning was the liquid assets part for the organization. So maybe it's a call for you guys that if you know something quite liquid that can generate something for us, then definitely reach out to me, and you know it might happen.
Absolutely. I just had to put this up because Neil's been on since the start, so it's about 25 minutes, and he's only just managed to type hello. It's taken him that long because he types with one finger. So
Yeah.
I
Uh,
just had to put that up.
God bless you.
Even when he's not with us, we can still manage to you know have a little bit of fun at his expense. Love you, Neil, 100%. So guys, there is plenty of cool things happening now. What I'm loving about what is going on, I know you've heard it um, countless times, but with the new legal team that we've got on board, and I had a good talk with Agarim yesterday, with the exciting things that are going on. Obviously, they're very busy. She reminded me again, guys, you've got 20. And to us, we've got this 24-hour access. If we have issues, if you've got issues that you think we need legal to look at, then get in touch with us because we can access these people. We've got 24-hour access to them. And something that we're going to be pushing forward, I believe. Actually, no, that's some of the things we can't release, is it? There's information coming out around that space very soon that in each of the locations, each of your office spaces, there'll be access to legal services. So watch this space. There's nothing in concrete yet. But so I wouldn't be going out going, hey guys, we offer this, because that's not the case just yet. But know that there are things in the pipeline that are going to assist you. So if you're like, oh, but this has happened, then we'll get on top of it. Now, Kim Pierce, I want to thank you. You sent me an article the other day. I hadn't actually seen that one. We hadn't seen that one, so I do apologize for that. But it looked very when I just saw CoinSpeak and I thought it was from another one. So if you find articles and things that you think are defamatory or you think are inaccurate, please send them our way, and we'll send them to our marketing team, because they're doing a lot in reputation management, and they're doing a great job there, by the way. But also we can forward these on to legal as well and see whether they need to take any legal action. Now, Kim, I did pass that on to Agarim. We had a bit of a discussion around that yesterday. I had a read of the article. It's very inaccurate, incredibly inaccurate. So there's not many facts in it. So it's very interesting at what people will say. And I think what we need to look at is the fact that we've been here almost 6 years as a company, as this company, almost 6 years, and we're still going strong. And our legal team are putting the right things in place. They've made applications to the SEC, right? So we can't have made an application to the SEC until we had everything cleared up. So Agarim, she's very aware of that. Her firm is very aware of that. They wouldn't have made that application unless they were supremely confident, because they know it's a one-shot deal. Okay, so the mere fact that has happened should give you a lot of comfort, because there's cool things coming, guys. Massively cool things coming. Licensing for investment products. So people will be able to be licensed through our company and go out and literally license to sell an investment product. Like, that's a specialist field. Right now, we're networkers. Cool. And we don't need any special license for that. We can go and sell education. Cool. But soon you'll be able to go out and sell insurances if you want to, as long as you've done the courses within the company, which of course are discounted for VIP members, right? And you've got this licensed product to sell. Very, very cool. You got anything to add to that, mate?
No, just looking at all the comments coming through, and I'm quite excited. Justin Hawks is here, so welcome, Pops.
Ringy J.
And Rita, you can just enlighten up the whole mood here. So, guys, and absolutely, this Saturday is going to be one of those amazing Saturday webinars that you had. Okay, if you absolutely dread being on a Saturday webinar, then I'm really sorry. But then this week's Saturday webinar is going to be quite different. It's going to be a bit eye-opening. And few announcements are coming, just like Andrew mentioned, and Rita's put out in the chat. And there's something going to be unveiled, and I had the liberty to had a look at it just yesterday, and I was quite pleased with it. And I'm a guy who's usually not very pleased with a lot of things. So there you go. So watch out Saturday for Saturday webinar, and we got our special guest coming as well. Um, you know who's coming, right? Andrew Ox?
Not on Saturday, I don't know. I'm totally in the dark. Can you share? Can you share us a hint?
Oh, Saturday. So is the lineup for Saturday would be Annette Martinson, Armand and Andre Arata.
Sweet. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a good webinar.
it's going to be a
Um,
good webinar, but just watch out. Um, yeah, just watch out. So Saturday night is always a new day night, new date night. Ah, awesome. Mick Sedman said it really well, my friend. And yeah, go for it. Andrew, back to you.
I just want to say, so were you alluding to the thing that Annie put together, or we can't talk about that yet, or we can talk about that?
Nah.
No.
I want you guys to find out Saturday.
Yeah, no, you definitely need to be there on Saturday, but no, yeah, you're gonna be happy with it. It's gonna make your life a lot easier in telling people about the business. So you definitely want to be on that webinar.
Apparently, there's a question from Joe Barry. Okay. Has anyone had any success with using a debit card? Wouldn't work from NZ, so we have to change into crypto first and use that.
Um, I'm not in New Zealand, so I haven't used the debit card there. Has anyone else in New Zealand used the debit card with any success? If you could answer in the chat, that would be useful, I'm sure. And if you have, I'm sure Joe would love to hear from you so that they can find out what you did or what was different. It may be your bank. But if you're with ASB, I'd almost guarantee it's your bank.
Yeah, I'll add few information on that. So one possible reason could be your bank, but I have been hearing about the same issue quite regularly this week, especially where debit cards and credit cards were not working. Okay, and I think it has to do something with our back office, our back office system. And I think it was assured that support have said it will be sorted by end of this week. So sometime now, sometime today or tomorrow, it should be already working. So I would say, Joe, just try a small transaction, like maybe $10, and see if it works. If it works, then you know it definitely works. Like Sam Miller just said, it works fine. So yeah, I think the system works again. So there you go. So it was a problem before, Joe, but I think now it's been solved because I think Sam just said it works. So the only way is we could try it. Liz Foister also said she used CUA 2 nights ago. So there you go. So then in that case, bank is usually the culprit here.
And if you're with ASB, I'll almost guarantee that that's what the case is. So Shane's just put here, this is what the training is from Andre on Saturday night, invitation system and why it's needed. And guys, Andre's he's had success inside of MLM long before his investing success as well. He's a multiple six-figure earner in multiple different companies in MLM, so he knows what to do in that case. And he's still putting thousands of people on his front line every year. On his front line every year. So he's still out there doing the job as well, guys. So that's what's happening on Saturday. Shane's put that up. So Joe, hopefully that's answered your question. Also, Evelyn Kumar said to PM her if you've got any issues with that. I'm guessing that's what she was talking about. So Sam said that it's working. Neil said it's working. So yeah, more than likely your bank, but we did have issues in the past.
So there you go, guys. Banking issues is something always we constantly working on. I think you guys know our plan. Most people know what we're trying to do. Have our own banking system and with our own internal financial system. It's all on the way, guys. So just watch out. See again. I could go back to the grandfather old quote, Rome wasn't built in a day. All right. Um, it's like a big jigsaw puzzle. All the small pieces have been put together and kind of fits. And trust me, one day the image, the picture will be very nice to look at. So there you go.
So something to be aware of. This is not necessarily new news, and I don't mean new as in brand new, or I mean new as in new economic evolution of the world. But just a heads up, I have seen bantered around on the interwebs and on Facebook about Australia in particular moving towards a cashless society. Apparently, bank tellers have been given a time and date when they will no longer deal with cash. So I would be starting to make your make your moves there as your arrangements, I guess, as to what you want to do in that space. I haven't got any advice for you. I haven't even got. I'm still figuring out what I'm going to be doing. Probably putting a fair bit into decentralized crypto so that nobody knows where it is. But obviously, now is the time for you definitely to be educating yourself in that crypto space, particularly with what we've got coming up with A, CRU, B, the utility token, and C, the stable coin that we're going to have. That's going to become really, really important, guys. So, and unfortunately, and I say this because I see my father said something here. So this isn't directed at you, Dad, but I know this is gonna impact you and that generation. Is that age isn't gonna be an excuse. You're gonna have to get on top of what you need to do, because the less you know about a system like that, the more you can have the wool pulled over your eyes. And unfortunately, that's why we aren't educated fiscally at school, because if we're dumb enough, right, and that's the hope, is that we're more manipulated, more controllable. So the more you can learn about these subjects, these topics, and that's one of the reasons why at the moment Marathon 260 is such an amazing resource, because these topics are being spoken about each and every week. The more you can learn about that, the better positioned you're going to be. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you're going to be to deal with what's happening in that space. And guys, the space is rapidly changing. I've said this a couple of weeks ago, and I'll say it again now. I talk a lot about, and I'm going to just draw it here so you can see it, about the line of diffusion of innovation. Okay, so we got, I'll show you, I'll just let me write it, and then I'll show you.
You're drawing something, Andrew.
I am.
Okay.
Okay,
Can
just so
I
you
say something?
Yeah, go. Say something. Go.
Okay. Just this came up on the news yesterday, guys. I think will be very, very helpful to you guys. The Academy of Private Investor Code of Ethics, which is a new thing which came up. You saw that, Andrew?
Yeah.
Um, how do you find it? Is actually go into your API back office under Partner Tools, under Documents, you'll find it. But if you do find the news, just click on the link and it just takes you straight away there. But definitely take some time to read this code of conduct. I think it's 4 or 5 pages. It's quite short. It's quite short and nice and crisp. Read it, because a lot of people here have been disadvantaged in some way by their network or whatever that's going through. So code of ethics.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it out. Andrew, I want to see what you have drawn.
Definitely go and have a look at that, guys. I've just flashed this up on the screen from Rita because it's pertinent to what I'm about to say. I remember being the last to move on a plastic card, and now it's the norm. Crypto will be the new norm soon, and she's right. Now, what I'm about to show you, what Rita said there, I remember being the last to move. That is referred to as the laggers. Okay, the laggers with what I'm about to show you. So keep that in mind. Now, this picture here, if we can see it. Okay, so on this side, it's got innovators, okay? Innovator, and then it's got early adopters, and then it's got early majority. Now, hopefully you can see that all right. I'd love to, I should have had a picture drawn up that I could share with you, but this was on the fly. That curve is called the curve of man, I said it before, diffusion of innovation, right? It shows the innovators, then it shows the early adopters, then it shows the late adopters, or the late majority, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggers. Okay, so I'll go through it again. Innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggers. Now, the laggers are the last people. They have no choice but to change. Okay? If you're usually the people that make the most or benefit the most are in that innovation to early adoption phase. Okay? Why am I telling you this right now? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we're still, and I got this wrong 3 years ago. I thought we were in the early adoption phase. We're not. We're not even there yet. We're still in the innovation phase. We're still in the innovation phase, guys. So stay on top of that. Not a very good bell. Yeah, thanks, Dad. Appreciate that. My old man's still giving me shit at 43. Make sure that you understand that you're in the innovation phase. And even in that early adoption phase, that's where, it's not very steep, but that's where the early adoption phase is where the money's made. The investors, innovators, and the early adopters. Okay? That's where you're going to make that money. So we're in the right spot. Keep on top of it. Educate yourself, because more and more people are going to be needing the knowledge that you have. Just saying. Just, get on Rita's webinar. She explains it incredibly well. She's very adept in the space herself. She's definitely one of the innovators, one of the pioneers. There you go. Mick Seidman said it perfectly. The early adopters make the money. And Julie said it. We are early adopters. Yes. In fact, we're still in the innovation phase. Our company are the innovators of that part of that space. So, guys, have at it. Good times.
Neil just always goes with this. We have the Rolls Royce of cryptocurrency. Why can't I have a Lamborghini, Neil?
Because Rolls Royce is prestige, mate. Lamborghini's beautiful, but Rolls is prestige.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just giving Neil the usual we do. But yeah, we definitely have the Rolls Royce of cryptocurrencies, and it will become more apparent in future days.
Yep. And we've got no other real questions coming through, so we might be pretty close to finishing. I just wanted to share this from Joe. I think this is beautiful. There are three types: those that watch things happen, those that make things happen, and those that wonder what the heck happened. Now, that's a much more politer than how I said it about 12 months ago in Palmerston North, but it is still true nonetheless. Yeah. Well, here's a question. This is a good question right here. Is it necessary to activate 2FA, which stands for two-factor authentication? I see someone post on Facebook that after activating, they have a problem logging into the back and couldn't restore. I've never had any problem with 2FA at all. It does speed up your transfer process for moving money around your wallets and your withdrawal process, believe it or not. So I actually switched to 2FA about 2 years ago when I was having trouble withdrawing. I couldn't get my confirmation code. As soon as I got 2FA, I didn't need that confirmation code anymore because it was on my phone straight up. Now, you don't have to use Google Authenticator. There's another one. Can you remember what the other one's called, Heron?
Authy. A-U-T-H-Y.
Yeah, Authy. That will also work. So maybe it's Google Authenticator that's having the issue. I've never had any issues with it. That said, guys, if you lose your phone with the Google Authenticator, then you're in a world of trouble. It's a very lengthy process to get it sorted out. Whereas Authy is a much simpler process if you do lose your phone. That's just something to consider, and it's one of the reasons why I'm considering changing. But yeah, guys, it's for me, it's worth doing. I've never had any issues with it.
You know the thing that I forgot a while back?
Have you remembered?
This was it.
Oh well.
I was gonna talk about two-factor authentication and how that's been helpful.
Okay, so we do, Shane. We absolutely do. Mix asked this here. Does NEEW have API? NEEW have API Pay ID? I don't think so. If you could send me a message on it, the information on it, then we could potentially get it integrated into the NEEW back office, which is coming soon, guys. We've definitely been working on it. So we're getting a lot of input from stakeholders in the company also from all the councils. So we're getting their input as to what they believe that we need in the website to make sure it's easy for everybody to use. Okay, this is a question, and for those of you who don't know, this is my father. What do we need for the second 2FA, for 2FA? Basically, it's an application, Dad. You get it on your phone, so you need to have a semi-decent smartphone that'll do it. Authy, is it so in your back office? So let's walk through it. I'd love to take you through it live here, but the screen's not set up for that clearly. You go into your back office, you go under your profile. And on your profile, it'll have security settings. Click on security, and then it'll ask you if you wish to activate 2FA. You click on activate 2FA, and it'll bring up a QR code. Okay? From that QR code, you scan it with your phone, and it will open it on your phone and implement it. The steps are all there, case by case. And I do believe that Andrew Twelvetree actually did a video on 2FA as well a little while back. So if you go and have a look at his YouTube channel, then you'll be able to do it. You can do it on a computer as well. Yeah, absolutely. You can. And there's a code that you can cut and paste to do it on the computer. You're right. So Dad, you might be able to do it with that one. Then I wouldn't be able to check your account here, of course. Not that I do, but anyway.
Letting cat out of the bag.
So Tony has had issues with 2FAs that cause massive problems logging in. Again, I've never had any problems with it. So it's going to be up to the individual. If you've got a really, really super tight password, then great, that could work. LastPass is a good one for generating really secure passwords. LastPass.com. It's free to a point. So they have a free version, whereas OnePass, it was a paid version all the way. Whereas they may have changed now, but when I did it, LastPass.com, that will create secure passwords for you and even store it for you under a master password that you only need to remember one. So that's handy.
No, absolutely. Now, regarding Google Authenticator, I have used it many times. And you know what? I do have the upgrade problem. So what I do was I usually go back into the system, disable it, upgrade it, and come back and reinstall it. And that usually does the job. But then, the 2FA certainly, for some people who are still questioning what is this 2FA, two-factor authentication. You know how you get emails with codes to move money, to withdraw and all these things. It replaces that, and you don't have to wait for an email not coming.
Yeah.
Just pick up your phone, and it should be flashing a number every minute. And it's certainly very, very helpful. So, like, for example, like if you can see my screen, I'm just showing it right here. Can you see? So that's Google Authenticator. So there you go.
It looks different on an Android.
Yeah, it definitely does.
This is it on an iPhone.
There you go.
And when it ticks down to the last 5 seconds, you can see it'll turn red. And there it is.
Yeah, that's
and start flashing. Because obviously if you input that and it's changed, then it won't let you in.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's that. So there's certainly a few ways around it. It's just management. If you know what you're doing, then it's fine. Like I was so worried about, because I had an old iPad with my Google Authenticator on it, and then I was worried like, oh, what if I move to a new iPad? Then what happens? So just disable everything and just
reinstall
it back. So yeah.
Of course, in order to do that, you need to be logged into your account. So hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, you figure it.
Which you'll need, if you've got 2FA on, you'll need to have put the code in to get in.
then you're in a pickle, my friend.
And then you are in a pickle.
Yeah, Mick Sedman have certainly said something about Pay ID.
Yep.
I use Pay ID. I'm sure Andrew does too. It's very easy. It's just your phone number can become a Pay ID these days. Now, what are our thoughts on that, Andrew? Are we going to be implementing it in Australia one day?
There's definitely the opportunity to do so. We're still in the process of setting up a new bank account here in Australia, which has been with everything that's going on in the world right now, and with banking the way it is in Australia, it's proven difficult. Let's be honest. But we're getting there. We're getting closer. So there's a couple of forms I need to send off again today, and we're getting closer to having a bank account back in Australia, which will be useful. Oh,
Absolutely.
update too. Gold Coast office is almost ready, and by the time we're allowed 20 people in a space, the Gold Coast office, or the Asia Pacific headquarters, if you like, will be open for business. We've got a classroom there that'll seat 100 people. We've got a recording booth for podcasting and also for video recording. There'll be hot desks there. If partners want to come in and work from there, they'll be able to. VIP members will get a discount, obviously. There'll be a communal space where you can come and eat your lunch if you want. And in the future, we potentially be doing cafes and stuff there. But there's board meeting rooms. Meeting rooms, we'll be doing Genius of Finance. Again, podcast, as I said. This weekly live Q&A will likely be shot from there. Yeah, it's a good space, guys. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. It's exactly the brief that Andre wanted to look at. So looking forward to getting that space open for everyone.
And don't forget, it's the future home of the investment department as well.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, there'll be a lot of action going on there, which is good. All good stuff. All good stuff.
All good stuff. All
Linda, the other authenticator besides Google was Authy. 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 I'm just having a look through these last of these questions to see if there's anything we need to. There you go. Karen's just put it in the chat for you. After we go public, security better use. Yeah, good point. This is for security. This is what I'm saying. Good point about this question that's just come up here. After we go public, more security, we better use RSA and secure widely. Guys, make no mistake that everything's been done right in that respect. We're making sure all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, so that we can be here for the long term. This is something that your great-great-grandchildren will thank you for setting up years in advance. Now, Neil is here, and he's told me this story hundreds of times, and it's I never get tired of it. Now, Neil's wife is from I was going to say McGavick, but that's my family. Trevithick. Neil's wife is from the Trevithick family. Now, 5 generations ago, Mr. Trevithick created the steam engine. Now, he never really got too much credit for it, but who did get credit for it? George Stephenson. Now, he got credit for it in his cronies because he put that steam engine on rails and created the rail networks. Now, why is this an important conversation? Because a couple of years ago, Armand's actually met one of the Stephenson descendants and said, this will provide you for a lifetime. He said, well, I don't really need to worry about money. I've received billions of dollars each and every year. He goes, well, why is that? It was because my father set up, or not my father, great-great-great-great-grandfather set up the rail networks throughout London. And they still receive royalties from it 5 generations later. So, guys, that's what we have right here. 5 generations' time, people are still going to be benefiting from what you've done here today or in the last few years. So, yeah, cool. That's anything. I know you're always going to close with what you want to close with. I'm going to say this, guys. Go out, be amazing. Keep sharing the love with everyone, because that's what we're doing. You're showing people a better way. Make sure that you're on the webinar on Saturday night. Make sure you're plugging into the marathon sessions if you are still involved with marathon, and there still is a lot of people who've had great retention with that, which is awesome. And plug into your mentor sessions and everything else. But that's it from me, because there's no other questions coming up. We've answered everything. You guys are amazing. Haran, what do you got to say?
All I have to say is, get on the Satri webinar and just watch out for it, because I think you won't regret it. I think you want to have double numbers this week.
And here I was thinking you were going to say stay classy.
Oh, yeah, and
and that too. I'm Ron Burgundy.
And stay classy, everyone.
All right, guys. This has been us for the week. We'll see you again next Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, the news update will be out on Tuesday as well, as it always is. Have a good one. Take care. Go out and smash it. And we'll talk to you really, really soon. See you later.